So there you go. Now, we promised, so the URL you're seeing here, TRK, don't need the TRK, just igor.cx/slides. You'll get all the slides, all the slides from all the 3 days, igor.cx/slides. Not yet. So, before we wrap up, any takeaways, anything? Justin?
So I would like to hear your perspective on, it kind of goes in the same vein with recycling content and repurposing content. We have a strategy that we like to use to get better open rates, or more opens, more clicks. So write the one email, send it out in the morning, in the evenings, change the subject line, first paragraph, send to the unopens. And then we take it beyond that, people that did open but didn't click, send to them in the afternoon, hey, why didn't you click, second chance. And then the people that did open in the morning and click, send a second offer to something else. And so what is your take on and perspective on like resending to people based on what they did?
Well, obviously it's a good idea. You're treating people based on their behavior. That's always great. I imagine it would be a little bit more time consuming to pull off.
It is. You can get, I mean, obviously just like anything else, you can create the system for it and make it just, very easy to follow. But is that something that you guys do to an extent? Or
we don't do that, but we do send to unopens. And what I do is I figured that when I send out the exact same email, anyone has multiple email addresses and you put all of them on your list. So when you email yourself on all of these together, right, what happens is in Gmail, they batch into one conversation. And so the first one, you're seeing the whole email, but then the next one is just ... So you can click on it and it just, opens it up. But until you do, it's not visible. So what I figured is that if I resend to unopens and it's the exact same content, then Gmail at least will do that to me. So what I've done is every time I write an email, I write an unopens version, but here's how I do it. First off, the subject line has to be different, even if it's just a different word or a different letter, or just removing the exclamation point, something, because the moment the subject line is the same, once again, you're threading into the same conversation. The other thing I do is I go through each one of the paragraphs in the email, even the one-word paragraphs, and I change one tiny thing. It could be removing a comma, adding a ... changing one word from, take to grab. And I do it for every paragraph besides the sign-off. And that goes out. So this way I can at least guarantee that Google will see it as unique content and it will not shrink the email.
That's good.
Cool?
Yeah.
Yes, right here. Justin, right here.
I was just curious about how far ahead, what kind of your emails look like, because I know you load them up or
Yeah.
somebody loads them up on your team, but how far in advance do you have emails written out? And
Usually a week in advance.
Is there ever a time where something pops up that you have to get in there and you kind of sneak it in?
There is, but I learned over the last 18 months or so, I learned to not do that. So the bigger your business will grow, this is different for those of you who are just starting out. But if you got a big business, you have to plan your promos. Your promo calendar, you actually have to have a promo calendar and know exactly what you're promoting that week or another. Now, if you're doing castaways, it's very easy to just write a bunch of them and just load them in. So you've got emails going out for the next 3 weeks. So deadline, you have to write them 2 days before the last email goes out. But if you're doing promos like the Ticking Time Bomb campaign, for example, you have to maintain a calendar and really be honoring that calendar. Otherwise, it's a mess.
And do you also always mail out Saturday and Sunday?
Always. In fact, most of the time, Sunday is when I send out 3 emails because of the deadline. So people don't check, it may appear as if they don't check their email on the weekend, but it's not true. They check, they're just not as engaged. However, if you've got a deadline, the deadline engages them. It really helps. Anyone else? Just maybe one more. Come on. Yeah, just takeaways or anything you wanted to add or ask or anything you picked up.
This is just an idea. Maybe get your feedback on this. So this is kind of like I haven't implemented this yet, but just kind of a mixture of some suggestions and observations. So about a month or two ago, I saw Adam Lyons talking at the Internet Marketing Party, and he was talking about email lists and there's the debate of like how many times you should email per day from maybe the same from name. And he suggested, in order to kind of, one of the things I do with SEO is, or I've also taught courses over the years. I do something called content stretching, which is basically just taking the same content and spreading it around to different marketplaces. So kind of similarly, to maybe get some more out of your list, depending on what your niche is, you can maybe consider duplicating your list and then changing the from name so it looks like it's coming from somebody else. And why that, why I know that, could potentially work is with some of my students, they know, like, and trust me, but they don't buy my course from me. They'll buy it from one of my affiliates that are more like they are. So they, I'm younger than some of my students. So the ones that are older or maybe have families or kids or whatever, they're more likely to buy from that person. So you may want to consider duplicating your list.
Okay, so there's a way to do it right.
Yeah.
And I was sharing actually with Justin and Brenda yesterday how to do it right. So if you've got two personas in your business, I don't know, you can have a front person and then someone more of a dealing with customers, or you can have two equally front-facing people. You can simply use Zapier to put them on two lists. So the same person goes on two lists. One is the one where the first person emails from, the other one is the other person. And you just email them as two different people. But the customer needs to know these people.
This is basically what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I noticed that, once I...
Exactly. So you can do it with two people. You can probably do it with more, depending if the customers know. Like, for example, we can probably now email you guys, me, Dennis, and Lana. Because all of you know Lana. None of our customers who didn't attend today, well, probably most of them don't know her. But if she emails you today, and you get an email from Lana, from
My whiz.
What? Anyway, so yes, you can do it. We got another mic.
Yeah, just a comedy for that most of these slides are keto.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna announce that. Okay. I'm gonna update that. Thank you. The coming hour.
Anybody else?
I just have something to add. So, I'll update it the same.
Yeah, I never really thought to do that with email. I used to do that a lot with PPC marketing. As soon as I found something that worked, what I would do is I would want to try to take over the whole ad space on that search term. And so I would create a different angle. And so I'd have 3 or 4 different angles with different accounts. So I was able to reach more people. So that new angle, if it made me money, usually I doubled my money just by creating a new account and a different angle, because now I'm hitting different, a different person that normally wouldn't have clicked or acted on it.
And that way you can kind of saturate your inbox. 150 emails for people.
Yeah, because even then they might like someone else's subject better.
It could be, but just change the subject lines or.
Hey, yeah, let's share the mic, because it sounds like something really cool that you're saying, but no one's going to be able to hear it on the recording.
It could be, but I think it'd be more effective if it was the same offer, change the subject lines of the different senders, or it could be a similar offer, same niche, different offers in the same niche. potentially, like.
So if you've got two personas, then you're not matching the persona that best suits the prospect. You're still just blanketing them with the same offer but with different wording. No. No? I don't understand.
So we're friends with someone that does exactly what you're saying, and he's a guy and he's a girl, and his persona is a Julie, and we got on his Julie list. We don't get his male ones, but we know someone that does, and it's very, very different. With Julie, obviously he resonates with me. And then with the male one, Kieran's like, oh, that's so cool, I should get on that list. So they're very similar, but he has a variety of different ones. So like Igor was saying, you have to prepare what promos you're going to do at different times. So maybe with the Anthony Morrison $7 a month when that came out, Julie and him were both, obviously it's the same person, both doing it, but in a different way. Yeah, just marked a completely different way. Yeah.
Same person, the marketer was pretending to be female as well as himself.
There was one thing that I wanted to say on that though. If you're going to create these different personas and it's just you, they need to know who this other person is. And you mentioned it, but it's really important, the from name, the sender name. If you send out 3 different personas, but they only know that one person, and you haven't done a job of introducing who these personas are or how they're relating to you, they're never going to open that one, and it's going to just kind of ruin it. So that's really important to keep in mind. It's a good strategy too, but the people need to know it's the relationship too. So that's something to consider.
All right, that's quite a discussion. Nice. All right, so you can get the slides at igor.cx/slides. However, they will be available within the hour, because Dennis needs to still put them up.
If you're good with Keynote, you can grab them now. If not, wait, I'll do the PDFs.
All right? So,
Also, I had a question as well.
yeah.
So, like before people leave, and we did like an email, 2 days of email writing. So in terms of not how long, but in terms of like hours, how long do you think in hours like a beginner writer should invest, in your opinion, to become like good? Not amazing, not exquisite, but like a solid writer to convert.
1 hour a day for 30 days. If you invest 1 hour a day for 30 days into anything, you will know more about it and be more skilled in it than most people on this planet. So with writing 1 actual hour of writing, like typing hour, once a day for 30 days, puts you like, way above everyone else. No doubt.